Welcome to Tuesday Folk People. What a pleasure it is to have you. Ordinarily, with our Tuesday Folk People sessions, we showcase two acts per session, and we spend half an hour with each act telling their stories and performing their music. But today, we've decided to do something a little bit different. For the past 6 months, Homestage has showcased numerous fascinating and immensely talented artists. These musicians have been massively inspiring, and we thought that this would be a great time to look back at the past 6 months and remind ourselves of some of the incredible music and stories of these fascinating people. So for the second half of this evening's session, we're going to give you the chance to reminisce, and we're going to look back on the highlights of the past 6 months. However, for the first half, we are going to carry on in ordinary fashion with a very charismatic artist. He's a fantastic guitar player and singer, and he has such a talent for songwriting. He'll make you laugh, he'll make you cry, and his name is John Daddy-O Clark.
Hello, John. Welcome.
Hello, Maddie. Nice to see you on this lovely.
And you. Where are you tuning in from? Is it Dagenham?
No, I actually live in a lovely medieval village in Kent called Faversham, home of the Shepherd Neame Brewery.
Lovely. Right. Well, we've got quite an exciting half hour now. We're going to explore your musical background and your guitaring and teaching and all that. But I think that we should probably begin with your first song, which is called Dagenham Air. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, I wrote this when I was a college student at Bretton Hall College up in Yorkshire. And I was taking my girlfriend at the time to meet my parents in Dagenham for the first time. And I asked her afterwards what she thought of it. And she said it was the sort of house where she felt she could cut her toenails in the living room and no one would mind. For some reason at the time, I thought this was unbelievably sweet. But when I told my eldest daughter about this, she said, "This was not a compliment, Dad." So I changed the line from "you can cut your toenails" to "you can sit in Dad's chair if you like." Sometimes I still think toenails. Welcome to my home, the council houses, million matching pairs with creaking stairs. Welcome to my home, it bored and race to make me what I am, uncured ham. But I hope that you like it the way you like me, the electric blankets, the black and white TV. I could take you anywhere in the cool dark Dagenham air. But it's closing time, the hour for us to rest. You close your door, I'll close mine, though to stay here I'm inclined. One kiss goodnight, then to my room. Welcome to my home, yes you can sit in Dad's chair if you like, 'cause he won't mind. Welcome to my home, piano, 5 guitars and records too. I'll share with you, and I hope that you like me the way you like them, 'cause we'd love to invite you to stay with us again. I could take you but it's closing time, the hour for us to rest. You close your door, I'll close mine, though to stay here I'm inclined. One kiss goodnight, then to my room. Well, I hope that you like me the way you like them, 'cause we'd love to invite you to stay with us again. I could take you anywhere in the cool dark Dagenham air, but it's closing time, the hour for us to rest. You close your door, I'll close mine, though to stay here I'm inclined. One kiss goodnight, then to my room.
It's a bit of a love song, isn't it, that?
Yes, it's one of those romantic songs about Dagenham, of which there are so many.
No, it's brilliant. And I think that you can tell from that you're very advanced with your guitar playing. Would you say that guitar is your first instrument?
Well, it would be my first instrument, as I started playing it as an act of rebellion when I was 5 years old. My big brother bought a guitar during the big skiffle boom and threatened to break my neck if I went anywhere near it. So very few things are more guaranteed to make something attractive than being told you can't have it. And so whenever he was out, I used to go into his room, get the guitar out and play tunes on it. And started classical guitar lessons at the age of 8. And I've really been learning ever since.
Mm.
And now I'm 66.
So you've had plenty of practice and
Oh,
got to the standard you're at today. That's brilliant. So would you say that it was purely the act of rebellion that inspired you to play it, or was there a particular reason that you liked the guitar or like it
Well,
now?
At the time, there were lots of records that used guitars. I was particularly taken with a record by Dwayne Eddy called Because They're Young, and used to walk around the playground in the infants singing it to myself and imagining what it would be like to be able to play that. And there were other groups like the Sputniks, whose version of Hava Nagila particularly attracted me then. And I'm sure older listeners will know some of these songs. And that sound captivated me, and actually being able to copy it on my brother's great big guitar was a great thing.
So you mentioned previously, when just before Dagenham Air, that you wrote that at college, and you studied the guitar at college. That's what you were doing there, isn't it?
I was actually training to be a teacher, with guitar as my first study and piano as the second. I have the distinction of being the first study guitarist from Bretton Hall College to get a job teaching in a school. Most of them went there to train as teachers and then decided not to do it. And I was the first one in all the history of it to actually do it. They can't take that away from me.
You persevered. Everyone else couldn't cope with it, but you did. Nice. So other than being at college and because you had quite a musical family, didn't you?
Yes, my mother was devoted to music. She loved singing, and one of her favourite stories was how during the war, when she was in the WAFs, when the bombings were going on, she would sing One Fine Day to all the other WAFs there, and they'd all think about their boyfriends and husbands and things and have them all in tears with it. And she carried on performing up until her 90th birthday, when she sang a terrible song called "The Mother's Lament." That that's a song to bring tears to the eyes.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, I always do think that a musical family, it sets you on the right track. If you've got a musical family, you can't help but then do a life in music. Well, that's what's happened with me as well. So, other than obviously being at college and with your musical family, did you have many other sort of performance opportunities? Were you in any bands or anything?
Well, in the late 80s, no, sorry, in the late 70s, I was in a group called Kettle of Fish with two girls, and I learnt such a lot about arranging three-part harmonies and things with that. And they all played guitar, so a lot went into the arrangements there. And later on, there was a group called Patchwork with my friends Lee, Pat, and Arthur. We actually won the Essex Radio Golden Microphone for the Best of Pub Folk, which I've still got up on my shelf. And much to the chagrin of Pat and Lee and Arthur, who'd probably like to have it on their shelf. They probably deserve it more than me. But
You keep it there, keep it on your shelf.
right.
And I heard about an instance with Eurovision.
Oh, yes. A friend of mine invited me into a recording studio to record some songs. And he was the sort of person who was always boasting at school about his connections. And so went to studio on a Saturday afternoon. He phoned me up on a Sunday and said, right, we're seeing the publishers on Monday. I thought, blimey. And I said, up to Carlin Music we went and played them some songs. I said, right, go into another studio, record some more. So that was the next weekend. The next thing I know is they'd decided to submit one of them called Rugulator Tugulator, there's a snappy title, for Eurovision. It didn't get anywhere, but next year, Buck Fizzy's song, I thought, sounded remarkably similar to my Rugulator Tugulator. I think I was robbed.
So we've already mentioned your teaching a little bit. And what people might not know is that you've had a stonking 50 years as a teacher. What inspired you to get into the teaching profession?
Well, I wanted to take grade 6 guitar because I needed it to do A-level music. And the only place that could do it was a local Saturday morning music school. And when I went there, it turned out that I'd been playing almost as long as the person that was there teaching it. So while I was studying it, they took me on as a teacher. So I was sort of being paid to learn, which is, I think, the best way. It's like I've never yet paid to go into a recording studio. It's always been free, or somebody's paid me to do it, and it's nice.
I can imagine. So do you find it quite a rewarding job being a teacher?
Some aspects of it are fantastic. I mean, I worked in a secondary school once where I was convinced that some of the children were trying to kill me. And I actually wound up having 3 heart attacks in the year 2000, which wasn't much fun. And took early retirement. And then my youngest daughter, who's known as the badass job fairy, managed to entice me to, just do something for an hour or so a week, just to keep your hand in. And I wound up doing 10 schools a week and covering 400 miles between the lessons, doing the guitar and ukulele in Kent, which has been a lovely way to end my career.
Yeah, sounds it. And what would you suggest from your teaching perspective? What would you suggest is a good way of encouraging future performers?
Take up the ukulele.
Really?
It's the best possible instrument. Not everybody can play the violin as beautifully as you, Maddie, but almost anybody can make a lovely sound on the ukulele. And it's impossible even to strum the open strings without feeling happy. It's just a bum, 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 and that is happy straight away, even before you play anything else on it. And that's been my experience in schools. The children are just fantastically happy to get the ukuleles out and can't wait to get strumming on it. So I think it's a great way to start. Once a hairy spider sat alone in a deep dark hollow. Sick of spinning webs, she found even flies too much to swallow. You should get out more, said a passing ant, so she gobbled him up by way of thanks. You can never sympathize with a spider. You can never sympathize with a spider. Itsy bitsy spider loved to terrify young ladies. Up the drain pipe into the bath, but that's a game he seldom plays these days. On an old toothbrush, and they meet every night by the soap dish slush. You can never sympathize with a spider. You can never sympathize with a spider. A spider, watch your step, I may bring good luck or money. Crawling over James Bond's chest, a web of intrigue or honey.
Fantastic. I love that one. It's so funny. It honestly puts me in such a good mood when I hear it because it's quite a feat being able to write a miserable song as well as sort of upbeat songs. I know that most songwriters struggle with the contrast between happy and sad songs. Like I'm purely a sad songwriter. I can't do happy songs as hard as I try. So how do you manage to do this?
It's basically down to have a very short span of attention. I get bored doing the same sort of thing. When I was very young, my big sister Valerie bought me an album called The Rock Machine Turns You On, and it was a sampler album for CBS Records, and every single track was different from the one before. And I absolutely adored that album. And it's really, when I'm playing live, how I put sets together. You know, you don't get three dismal songs in a row. You know, I like to shake it up and mix it up. And it's basically because I get bored easily.
Wow, that's a good excuse. I mean, I love that. So, what are you trying to achieve through your songwriting, both with your more sad, forlorn things and these funny, jokey ones?
What I always wanted to be able to do was to make people dance. I've only ever managed that once, which was with a group of Germans who were they were guests of the British Legion in Dagenham, and they turned up to this gig, and they were early, and all the British people and some quite old British people turned up to see that their favourite seats were occupied by Germans. So we started playing, and the Germans got up and started dancing, and the British people jumped into their seats. It was lovely. But,
Making good use of the situation.
it's basically to entertain people, to make them laugh, make them smile, make them think. There's one we're playing later that I've known people to cry over, so because they recognise what's going on in there.
Touching on a whole range of emotions, which is the aim of every songwriter, to really strike that chord. And with these jokey, these sort of more upbeat songs, do you find that they're quite popular with the children that you teach?
Oh, we do much sillier songs than these with the children that we teach. There's a song called Yonto the Redskin Colony Mouse, where the chorus goes crunch, crunch, gobble, gobble, which they quite like. But no, that's the 8 and 9-year-olds like that. And
well, I think that I'd like that too. I think these songs are great because they do appeal to the younger audience as well as people who are supposed to be more mature. But it makes me laugh. So I think it's really good. So thank you very much.
They go down well with pensioners as well, because they like being reminded of when they were kids.
Yeah. Well, brilliant. We are running out of time a little bit now, but we have got time for one more song. And this is the one that you mentioned you've known people to cry at, and it's called Dark Blue Dressing Gown. What is this song about?
Well, it's basically about my mum, who, when my father died, started packing up all his stuff and, for instance, getting rid of all his pipes, which she'd always hated, and just putting them into black plastic sacks to give away to charity shops. But there was one particular garment that was stuck on a chair, and she picked it up, and, well, what happened is in the song. The sad thing is she never got to hear it. She never got to hear the song, but
it's still brilliant.
Started me off now.
No, it's great that you can write it down into a song. That's really great. And thank you so much for joining us, John, and showing us this interesting life that you've led, teaching and performing a whole range of different contrasting songs, and your interesting background, and for telling us about your mum.
She's packed his life into black plastic sacks. For the sake of sweet charity, she holds nothing back. was here to help her to choose which dreams to hang on to and which ones to lose. She can see it so clearly on the arm of his chair, the dark blue dressing gown that he used to wear. The hem's all uneven, there's marks on the sleeve, and there are tears on her face as she struggles to breathe him in. For it's full of the scent of all she thought had gone, and it triggers a memory of their favourite song. And she'd go through it all again if she had the chance. So she picks up the dressing gown and begins to dance. Up her empty arms with what she needs most, and the dance is so gentle, so patient and sweet. There is love in each fibre as she shuffles her feet. But she won't build a temple, she won't build a shrine to the fast fading memory of what hung on the line. So she picks up the dressing gown with its marks and that snag, but now it's there for someone else in the black plastic sack. She's packed his life into black plastic sacks.
Thank you so much, John. What a fascinating half hour that was. Really, really brilliant. But now we have our highlights section. We are going to look back on the highlights of the past 6 months, and it's been such an eclectic range of music. We've had traditional music from Britain, from Nigeria, Kenya, America, all sorts. We've also had lots of people with their original songs which have covered love, loss, the idea of place and certain places, as well as much more. I can't actually list everything because it's been great. So I think that we should begin and just spend half an hour listening to the music from the past 6 months.
They listen to the wind in the chimney wheel. Look outside the window, see the gale. Watch the whirling snow that flies around. Let's steal away, let's steal away. No reason left to stay. For me and you, let's start anew, and darling, steal away. Let's steal away and chase our dreams and hope they'll never find us. The dreary days, the empty nights, we'll leave them all behind us. Let's steal away, let's steal away. No reason left to stay. For me and you, let's start anew, and darling, steal away.
One morning, one morning, one morning in May, I spied a young couple, they were making their way. One was a maiden, so bright and so fair, and the other was a soldier and a brave volunteer.
I'm sailing away, my own true love. I'm sailing away in the morning. Is there something I can send you from across the sea? From the place where I'll be landing? No, there's nothing you can send me, my own true love. There's nothing I'm wishing to be owning. Just bring yourself back to me unspoiled from across that lonesome ocean. Oh, but I just thought you might want something fine, made of silver or of gold, either from the mountains of Madrid or from the coast of Barcelona.
They said, let's walk down to the Witham's edge, carrying their gifts through the rushes, reeds and sedge. Bronze and gold they left me, nestling in my bed, swords and shields as tokens of their awe and of their dread. They said, let's go down to the Witham sides. She will show us all where nature's bounty hides. In my crystal waters, crescent sorrel green, waterfowl and crayfish, perch and silver bream. I am sacred, I am holy, spring and brook and river. I am older than the land, life taker and life life giver. Constantly I change, and constant yet I be. I rise in the west, flow by the limestone crust into the sea, the great eastern sea. They said, let's go down, down to the Withams bank. A raft of plastic dross and a slowly rusting tank. The wreckage of their lives sinks into my silt. Algal blooms and floating fish, all evidence their guilt. I am sacred, I am holy, spring and brook and river. I found an old glass marble in my row of runner beans. Well, once upon a time, maybe a child played his dreams. Could be 50 years ago, might be 70 or more. Is that game still going on? Are you still keeping score? And digging further down, might see Boudicca's gold crown, where carrot and beetroot and parsnip now grow. We were chosen by this place, and we keep it going on. Space for all the birds, free and wild, everyone.
Jire tugende, Fabasalao, Fabasalao. Let's go to the mountaintop. Life is all about the choice. Jire tugende, Fabasalao, Fabasalao. Let's go to the mountaintop. Life is all about the choice. You walk down the valley, Nimawe zinakupokea. You rise up to the mountaintop, Bia mawe zinakusukuma. You try to start a business, Kancho anakudandia. Wajaribu usanii, wapirates wako kila mahali. Atogeza kukunonya kalimo, enakuzino tiba kyasasula, enakuzino tiba kyasasula, enakuzino tiba kyasasula. Jire tugende, Fabasalao, Fabasalao. Let's go to the mountaintop. Life is all about the choice. Jire tugende, Fabasalao, Fabasalao. Let's go to the mountaintop. Life is all about the choice. You own a highest tower in the city that's in your mind. Brothers making million, you're still here comparing them. You don't know how they started for them to be where they are. So stop wasting time, wasting time. Atogeza kukunonya kalimo, nakuzino tiba kyasasula, nakuzino tiba kyasasula, nakuzino tiba kyasasula.
Because the world is round, it turns me on.
fine way to begin the first day of the year. January through December, 12 months make a year. Joy and sorrow to remember as we travel here.
Wake up, darling Corinne. What makes you sleep so sound? The revenue officers are coming, gonna tear your still house down. For the first time I saw darling Corinne, she was sitting on the banks of the sea, with a 44 strapped around her and a banjo on her knee. Go away, darling Corinne, quit hanging around my bed. Your liquor has ruined my body, pretty women gone to my head.
Looking out at the stars tonight, across the western sky. The whole thing's moving at the speed of light. I don't know where or why. Maybe it's just a great escape. Heaven only knows. But they'll all be back tomorrow night. And for now, have nowhere else to go. He never said he was done with this. He said, I'm gonna see it through. Doesn't matter if they shake their heads. The doctors don't have a clue. You and I, we should head out east, maybe go to Mexico. But when he closed his eyes, I realized that for for now. He had nowhere else to go.
Out from the dark came a mag light, burning holes with intent, dressed in fear and shining with gold gilt. Hunting down, thrashing out, protecting mind and property. Someone is climbing bridges, leaving their mark. Climbing bridges and leaving their mark. Hiding in the shadows, the disappointed ones, paint binding fingers tight until the battle is done. Dogs on the run, dogs on the chase. Everything restricted, forced into place. Someone is climbing bridges, leaving their mark. Climbing bridges and leaving their mark.
I looked for you along the ancient paths, past the crashing waves, the jagged rocks, the storm-flecked waves, the moon and tides in their eternal, infernal dance. I looked for you, I looked in vain to see you hover in the wind. But storm-lash closed my eyes and ears, and you were gone. When I looked again,
London Bantland, black London waves, bring me to Northumberland, the land of my delight. Bring me to Northumberland, the land of my delight. Hear the London Bantland, black London waves. Land of singing waters, winds from out the sea. Bring me to Northumberland, the land where I would be. Bring me to Northumberland, the land where I would be. Land of singing waters, winds from off the sea.
I sit on my porch, tired eyes to see, watching the ships as they steam out to sea. My grandchild will be by with her mother's eyes, grandmother's hair, not a worry or care. She sits down by me, a young woman I see, turns towards me, Dado, sing for me. Sing me the songs of where you're from, so I will remember and carry them on. Sing me the songs of where you're born.
of times we never knew from way back when. Where once our buildings stood in all their glory, the workhouse of our women and our men.
I met someone from a different world, so very far away. She seemed to come and go so fast. I miss her to this day. Her smile could melt the frozen hearts and light the darkest nights. But now she's gone back to her world and turned out the lights. Her hair was of the finest silk, her eyes a perfect blue, and she came from a different world that I never knew.
Summer is a-coming, oh, and summer is here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. La 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 la. Tumkubalisha karaja, fanya biashara Kisumu. Tumkubalisha hoteli, auza samaki Nakuru. Keep Korea, akimbia milima za Nyeri. Feast for real, swallow the body women cry. Tumkubalisha karaja.
There are farmers living in the fen, which once was the floor of the sea. And it may very well be sea again if the water in the dike get free. So beware of the hour when the captive power of the water in the dike get free. So beware of the hour when the captive power of the water in the dike get free. There are gangs of men a-hoeing in the beat in the sooty black fields where they grow. And the walls of the dike stand 40 feet above the men who hoe. So beware of the hour when the captive power of the water in the dike get free. So beware of the hour when the captive power of the water in the dike get free. So beware of the hour when the captive power of the water in the dike get free. And supposing that those fenmen are stood as firmly as can be, will it be gathered up like so much wood and be carried out to sea? So beware of the hour when the captive power of the water in the dike get free. So beware of the hour when the captive power of the water in the dike get free.
That's absolutely brilliant. Honestly, we've been spoilt here at Home Stage to be able to showcase all of this amazing talent. And it's so inspiring. It's really influenced my music. But here's to hoping that we have a lot more of this kind of music. And I can assure you that we do. We've got a whole load of musicians lined up for the future. So please stay tuned in. Sign up to our mailing list if you haven't already for updates, or keep an eye on our social media, and you'll get to see more of these amazing musicians with different styles that we haven't even shown yet. So really keep tuned, and thank you very much for joining us tonight.